All right, sports fans, it is Friday, the last Friday of April. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
April is over. Alan, can you believe that we're already this far into the year? It is so flying by.
it is flying by. You know what? But I remember as a kid, it seemed like school dragged on and the year dragged on, and my parents go, "Wait till you get older and things fly by." We are Marshall. Not only here in Michigan, it flies by, and with you, where it stays sunny all the time. It has been gorgeous here the last couple of days, and I know we're into spring, but yeah, we are into month 5 coming up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Man, what's that do for our business? I'm looking at numbers going, I'm going to take vacation at the end of the month, going to be in Asia, and it's going to be 6, half the year over. What have I done?
Yeah,
What am I
right.
doing?
I
So,
know. We're going to have a really great show today. So I'm very excited about it. Lots of really cool stuff. So this is the Q&A with Alan and Marshall show. I'm Marshall Atkinson.
I'm Alan Howe with Easy Way. And Marshall,
And
we've got some great shows coming up too, which we can't say yet. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. And for today, if you're watching, we would really love it if you would comment, drop us a note that you're watching, where you're watching. So are what city or whatever, right? And then this is a show that really works well when you comment and ask questions and engage and get involved. That's what we're really all about. I mean, Alan and I can sit here and talk forever. We're like the Seinfeld. We can talk forever about nothing. Okay.
About nothing. Yeah.
But it works so much better if you guys participate. Okay. So, and then also we would really love to build our audience. So if you could do us a very teeny tiny small favor and just share that you're watching, let everybody know that you're watching, that would be tremendous. We would really appreciate that.
Absolutely. And you know what? Because how we grow our viewership is we can market and stuff, but it's by word of mouth, people sharing. Still the best referral.
Yeah. And we know a lot of our watchers, by the way, watch not live because you guys are busy doing stuff. So thank you so much for watching at a later time. And but we still would love to hear from you. So leave a note or send us an email or whatever. We'd love to hear that you're watching and when you're watching, where you're watching from, all that stuff. So
we don't post our emails enough.
Hey, let's do that right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got the power.
You do. I have controls too, but I let you run it right now. I'm in
so here's Alan's.
Yep.
And then here's mine. It's just my name. I'm easy. So anyway, so let's say hi to some folks and then let's start getting into some stuff, right? So Richard's here. In fact, he was here like 35 minutes early today. I guess he wanted to be the first one commenting.
We were talking and I saw him pop on. I go, "Are we live?" I go, "Richard just popped in." And it's like, "Oh.
Yeah. Hello from Michigan. Michigan. Josh is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Josh.
Ghost is here from Sweden. How you doing?
Hold on. Go back up on Josh's picture. Josh, did you have a new kid?
Is that I didn't even notice that. That's great.
Or is that someone your wife just said, "That's cute. I think we'll bring it home."
Ghost is here. Hey.
Hey, Ghosta. How you doing?
Sarah's here from Minneapolis, Kansas.
2 weeks in a row. Hey, Sarah. How you doing?
All right. It's going to be a habit soon.
It is. We like it. It's a good habit. So
Charles is here. Hey, Charles. How you doing?
What's up?
Good to see you. And William's here. Hey, y'all.
How you doing, William?
So great. Well,
I also know Peter Walsh will probably not be on. Peter, I saw, is traveling. He is over in India.
That's right.
Yeah.
Josh says that's his mom with his son when he was born.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah. We can decipher misspellings because we have that. We have that power.
I do that all the time. So.
So anyway, you've been traveling a little bit. Where were you?
I've been traveling. It's been 3 weeks straight. I was out, and that gets. If you think it sounds fun, it's a different kind of tired. So, I mean, we've all done it. I was in. I came back from the DAX show Saturday night. I had to leave Monday again, and I had to go down to Greensburg, Indiana. A shop had a Dane auto reclaim put in and charge it with chemical. And first time working with one of them, it was kind of cool seeing it. So, and then I had to drive to Chicago and saw some great accounts there and came home.
Yeah. And I've had a busy week helping people with coaching and stuff. And I've got numerous projects. Finishing editing a book, and I'm starting a new one that I'm collaborating on with somebody.
I know who you're collaborating with. That's going to be a great one.
And it's going to be very exciting. And but it's going to be lots of fun. Hey, somebody just joined in. So Hurley says, good morning. And by the way, Hurley, whose real name is Chris, is going to be here next Friday. And we're going to be talking about
Legos.
In his thumbnail right there, he printed Legos onto a shirt. We're going to be deconstructing that print. And Hurley, you have to let us know. Would you rather us call you Hurley or Chris? One of the two. So, but anyway, so come back next week and find out about how he's doing that. That's going to be a kind of a cool episode, I think.
He has jumped all into the special effects. I can't wait to talk to him about his markets and stuff. I know he's up there and does a lot of ice fishing stuff. So, but I want to see how this goes, how this turns into markets and what he's doing. And we're going to talk a little bit about special effects today too.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
A great job.
So what do you think? We pay some bills, run a commercial, and then get into some topics.
I think GSG would like that.
Hey, I know they would like that. So here we go.
All right.
Man, that's awesome.
I can't wait. I can't wait to the new video and stuff. You know, that's a company that is doing a lot. They are always. And yeah.
So this is going to be a really great segue because we have a treat. So why don't you set it up real quick here?
So I saw on, of course, Mr. Mark Slodonik, who is the application specialist for GSG. He does a lot of videos. GSG does a lot of videos anyways. And there was one he did, and he usually never posts himself on it. I get it. It's weird. Unless you have a page set up, sometimes you don't post on it. I know Chris from and Hurley, they watched it. But he did a special effects, how to print rhinestones. And rhinestones are a great item. It's a great upsell. It's a great special effect. But if you have more than a few, they're a pain and they're expensive. And he did it on a manual, one screen. And I think it's something worth showing. And we got talking about it, and it's going to segue into what can you do? It's all about R&D. So
this is about a 2-minute video. We're just going to play it right through because it's kind of short. And then we hope you enjoy it. So let's turn this off.
You can find this at gogsg.com or on their YouTube page or on Facebook page on all their stuff. But this is one. It's small and concise. So,
all right. So here we go.
GSG presents Whiting Wednesday.
I'm Mark Slodonik, Textile Application Specialist with GSG. Today in the Applications Lab, I'm going to show you a trick on how to print simulated rhinestone. You may ask, why do you want to print simulated rhinestones? Well, cost reasons, your design in particular. If you have to order rhinestones, if you don't do them in-house, you have quantities for, how many sheets you need made. So for this application, we're going to use Avient Specialty Inks HD Clear 2. And to finish the application off, we're going to use A-Magic holographic foil. HD Clear 2, we're going to be using a 150 micron stencil screen. And it's going to be 83 mesh. And we use Kiwo thick coat emulsion, and we coated it 2 and 8 to really build up our stencil. We're going to use a 60 barometer squeegee for the print. We raise our off contact up high enough to accommodate for the thickness of the stencil. You can already see the height of the HD Clear 2, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to flash this, and we're going to print it another 2 print strokes. Now that we have our HD Clear 2 stacked with our print flash print, we're going to go ahead and run these through the dryer, and we'll do our foil application. Once our shirt comes out of the dryer, we have our really warm, high-density clear. We're going to lay our foil on top and just burnish it down. Now that our shirts have cooled down a little bit, it's time to remove the foil. There you have it, how to print simulated rhinestone using Avient Specialty Inks HD Clear 2, and finally topping it off with some A-Magic holographic foil. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. For more information on screen printing, more tips and tricks, visit gogsg.com, and we'll see you next time.
So anyway, that was amazing. And
incredible. Yeah.
And so what's really fun about that is just how simple that is to get that really nice effect. So if you're thinking about doing something like this, why would you do it? Is because if you can master this technique, right, you learn how to do it first, just kind of mess around, and then you can take it to your clients and sell it to them. Instead of them coming to you for orders, you're going to them with this crazy idea. And that's how you generate more sales.
Absolutely. And this was so simple. The hardest part would be as people not used to coating a screen like that. He went 2 and 8 with a thick coat emulsion, a thick emulsion. It's actually called Kiwo Thick. I've used it, and that's 2 coats, round edge on the shirt side and 8 on the squeegee side. And that's 150 microns. I'm sure he measured it as how he knows that of what he wants. And a print flash print. One of the comments down here, Richard asked, said dryer, was that Avient water-based ink? That is not. That is a special effects plastisol. And it's called Sharp Clear 2. It's a great, so it's just a plastisol, nothing hard. Print flash print, that was an infrared flash he had on a manual. And there you go. Special effects, not scary. And the upsell on that, Marshall, is incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just in that foil can be anything. There's like, I mean, how many foils are there? I bet there's hundreds, right?
Well, he did 3 different foils right there. You could do a regular silver on there. He did
silver, gold, all types of stuff.
Yeah, holographic. And I think stuff like that is the upsell. And Marshall, you said something before the show we were talking, that's something that people don't come and ask for. You do the prints, you do your research and development, and you take it and go build the market.
Yeah. You know why? Is because they don't know.
Yep.
You know, it's the famous Greg Kitson line, right? You don't know what you don't know.
Correct.
Your customers don't know anything about this.
Yep.
The benefit of learning this stuff is that you can take it out and you can print samples for your client, or you can just show them what it's about, and you can show them what's going on. And imagine, you know, a dance studio or a high school or a Harley Davidson dealership, and you're doing women's tees. You know, I don't think some burly biker is going to wear that, but you know, there's all types of things that you guys can be doing with this. And I just think it's you need to look into it and think about, the shape of those little dots. Is that a hexagon? Is that a round? Is that a square? You could also do lines. You could do, all kinds of crazy stuff,
Yeah.
right? And I just think it's just a really kind of fun thing. And you just show it. There wasn't a whole lot to it.
No, not at all. Easy as can be. And you know what? Rhinestones are a great upsell. Everybody's into the bling now. You know what else, Marshall, a group I thought of? Everybody goes to schools, but man, what about the theater groups on there and
Theater
your
groups.
local theater house and stuff? Incredible stuff.
Also, who would really like this is any business that has a lot of women in it.
Yep.
All it takes is one of the office staff to wear this on Casual Friday, and everybody's going to want one.
Absolutely.
Doesn't take much. Who's the trendsetter in that office, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? The design was so simple. There was a GSG logo just broken up into small dots. And Mr. Saldonic just popped on. And Mark, what a great video. 2 minutes, concise, how to do it. And what a great market upsell. So we're doing that today instead of something out of the Pulse magazine.
We just thought it was so unique and simple, and you got a lot of really good comments when you posted on Facebook. You really deserved a little shout out. So that's why we chose it.
So I you can tell I get excited about that stuff because it's easy. This wasn't done on an automatic. It wasn't 14 colors. It was a flash print. It was plastisol, and it is incredible.
And I think that the key to having this work isn't the ink. It isn't the foil. What is it, Alan?
It's the sizzle, man.
It's the screen.
It's the screen. It is the screen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the screen. And like I said, the hardest part is just one, you're going 2 and 8. 2 on the print side and 8 on the
and he
side.
Was using a special emulsion. What? And it was Kiwo what? I forgot.
It's called Kiwo Thick. And most emulsions have it. It's a very high solids emulsion designed for stuff like that, for high density and stuff. And it builds up extremely fast.
So, Mark, I guess if you didn't want to mess with that and just wanted to use film, right? You could probably do that, right?
It would be a high micron and HD film that all of them have. Yep.
But I think just coating a screen is probably easy enough too. It just depends on what you feel comfortable with.
Yep. Capillary film is how people used to always first come out with it, but the emulsion is so easy now to use. I would always just go to that. I had customers actually had Fruit of Loom actually used one from me when I worked for a emulsion company that they would do it for HD in their lab, but they would also keep it on and they print it 1-on-1 on like their 83s and stuff and 36s for glitter and everything. So if you're going to do that, it's just a nice emulsion to have around. It's pure photopolymer. It's a great one.
Yeah. So this really begs the question though about what are you doing on purpose? And so the next kind of the idea here is why would you do this? And it's about bird dogging new markets.
Yep.
Right. So if you have a technique like this rhinestone thing and you're not doing stuff for, let's just say dance studios or whatever, right? Now you've got an idea and you could take it to them and go, hey, look what I did. Would you like some?
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about sales, Alan, you're thinking about, how do I increase my sales? I want to talk to people I haven't talked to before. How do you go about figuring that out and kind of like working on like a lead generation list or figuring out who to talk to? What's your take on that?
That lead generation list you should already have that. But
maybe they don't have it.
They don't have it. But they're the customers you want. And when you're thinking of new markets to do on there, working for Easy Way, and it's easy to say a reclaimer is a reclaimer is a reclaimer. I have to go what sets us apart. we do it better than anybody else, plain and simple. We're not the cheapest product out there. We're not ever going to be. We do it better. It's the easiest way. And I can show you how to do that. So for any market, I want to stand out. I want to have something that nobody else can get. And when you do something like this on a garment, you know who can't do it? Everybody else around you.
Yeah, because they haven't put the work in.
Exactly. That's exactly it. You know what? And that's exactly it. So it sets you apart. You know, I could just have anybody do it. Really go take that and show it to them. And they'll go, I don't know. Or they'll try to do it with HTV, and on 100 shirts, it's not going to happen.
Right, right. And so it's really just about experimenting. And by the way, Hurley says chroma blue is high style and works great for thick screens.
It does. Yep.
Cindy's here. Good morning, Cindy. Mark says it's all about offering what your competitor doesn't, right? It's differentiation. Absolutely. You know, anybody can print a shirt. What are you doing that's different? What are you offering that's different? Are you bringing new ideas out? That's what people pay for.
Yep.
Right.
And you know what? And that's why that's what makes GSG such a great distributor. They're helping you. You know what sets them apart? Videos like this. Yeah. Nobody else is doing it.
Right. So all about putting in the time. Exactly.
Yep.
Right.
And if you have a question, you email Mark. He's going to help you out going, oh, you only coded at 2 and 1. You're not going to get the height on it.
Right.
So, yeah. Go back up. Hurley put 2 on. He's already thinking. I knew when he saw that video when it was posted. Yeah. He's going to try to pixel, see if it replicates diamonds. And if it works, he's going to Rolex with it. He's
there you go.
Right there. You can replicate diamonds, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Very easy. So, now he'll start going and he'll just take it to the next level too.
Yeah.
But it's all about testing. It's all about trying. It's all about getting it down.
He's making shirts or Legos that you can stack the bricks on, right? So that's
absolutely.
That's great. So bird dogging new markets, you know, it's just really about thinking about your market segments and who you're appealing to and what could be a good benefit for you. That's that same type of decoration type or same type of size of customer, but you're not currently calling on them, right? It's really about figuring out what problems they have and how you can solve them, and then going after them on purpose. Do some research. That's, LinkedIn's really great for that. Your referral network's really great for that. If you know anybody that supplies that type of customer, like let's say you want to do restaurants, get friendly with the Cisco rep. Exactly. They know everybody. They know who to talk to. They know who's the deadbeat, and so just like you got to figure it out. You got to go out. You got to create your own future, right? Nobody's going to come to you, right? Maybe they will a little bit, but you go out and hunt down some new things. That's going to create a better future for you. Mm-hmm. Right. So Rob says, join late, but regarding special effect inks, can't tell you how many times we've shown a special FX portfolio and they ask if they could have one. You need to create your own. So much is application dependent. You really need to understand what you can and probably do and cannot do profitably with your people, equipment, and processes. Well said, Rob.
Yep. And by he says a portfolio, you don't need to have the whole shirt. You can have the print just on the fabric square and keep it in a book, in a portfolio book. And yeah, it's not just the special effect with the foil. It is the lift and the height on it. That is a rhinestone application. So absolutely.
Well, this could be any special effect, not just what Mark showed, right?
And that's just what we showed to get you excited. Now you start working with sculpture base and suedes and coming faux leathers and rock base, and there's just 1,000 things out there.
Yeah,
opalescence and
right. Hurley says printing a new version of the Lego shirt tonight with new ink to make the studs harder, hoping to hold multiple stacks of bricks by the end of the night. That sounds like fun. See, and people get excited about this stuff. You know, you're developing new things on purpose,
Yep.
and then you learn how to do it, and then you have that knowledge that you can bring forward, and then that makes you better than the next guy because you know it and they don't.
Yep. And I love too on that video we shown, it's nothing major. On a manual, infrared flash, done. Look at that right there.
Love it. Love it. So
and you know what? We have to always be looking at new markets also. I know as easy way we always are, and there are markets that are right in our backyard or wheelhouse is a regional manager. You know, I forget about them. But when I start hitting them, I told you, Marshall, a couple weeks ago, there was one I've been trying to in the graphics and the graphic overlay and label market. And it was tough. Took me a year to get in. I got in there 2 weeks ago. First order's been placed already.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just putting in the work.
You got to put in the work. You got to like meet people. You have to understand problems. You've got to, I was talking with one of my coaching clients and he wanted to go to a new type of client that he's not currently serving. And he goes, how do I do that? I go, call them up and ask them. I go, just say, hey, I need your help.
Yep.
I want to do this. I want to talk to this person. Da, da, da. Who should I be talking to? And they gave him the information. So it's just as simple as asking for help. Mm-hmm. Your brain, I think, sometimes gets in the way of that because there's all the reasons why they won't talk to you. Okay. But just ask for the help. Hey, I need some help. Who am I supposed to talk to here? This is what I want to do.
Yep.
You know, maybe they'll say no, but maybe they'll say yes and give you the right person. Right.
Same thing. I dropped in. I had to rearrange my schedule last week. I had to go to Ohio for calling hours. Marshall, you were in Youngstown, Ohio. I was in Canton. I was 40 minutes away from you. We didn't even see each other, but because of that,
I saw the smoke signal.
I did. Yeah. The next day, on my way down, I'm talking with my boss, Alex, and John Schluter, the owner, and he mentions a company. Like, man, I haven't thought about that in 25 years. Whole different market. And so I'm up there by Cleveland. So I make a cold call, just trying to get a name. And got the name. He came right out. We talked, brought me back. Products being, told me what his issues were and stuff. Asked the right questions and, products being tested right now. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got to ask. You got to ask.
Yeah. Don't you think sometimes, especially if you're new to sales or you're not really a salesperson, your brain gets in the way with all the reasons why they'll say no. And that's the reason why you never make the attempt.
Yeah, there's that you never get away from that. Nobody likes to be rejected. Sales is all about 1,000 no's and the one yes. You start, when I was younger, I hated doing cold calls. Now I do them all the time because I figure if I stop, it takes 5 minutes and the door shut on me, no problem. At least I have a name and we'll keep on them. We'll do some marketing, whatever. Or you get the one where it's, oh my gosh, where have you been all my life? And they bring you in. Yeah. So you have to keep doing it. I've learned with the receptionist and the people up front, and there's 1,000 names. We have the gatekeeper. And in sales, it's all how you get past the gatekeeper. Well, the gatekeeper, it's always about getting past, but you know what? That gatekeeper can also make or break you too. You're better to be on good terms. So the girl that was at Pan Am, when I was in there, you know what? It's just like I told her, I said, ma'am, I don't know who I'm supposed to ask for. Here's what I'm looking for. She smiled. I told her, she goes, yeah, that would be this person. Let me see if he's, and she goes, let me see if he's available. Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah. Ask for help.
I'm thinking her. I go, I appreciate that. I wasn't expecting that. So
yeah.
She's helping me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Cindy's got to go. She's got a customer. And William says, years ago, I started printing poly camo. The folks at NASDAQ Greensboro put me in touch with a tech at Wolflex who gave me really solid info that put me on the right track. And I've had that happen also numerous. I love a good ink rep, let me tell you. So I've had the pleasure of working with two of the best, Buddy Jolly, right, and Tom Robinson. Both of those guys are probably the best in the industry and always helped me in my career. And so it's really good to have good reps that you can rely on, because you've got a problem. You've got a problem, and they're going to help you solve that problem. And you just got to raise your hand and go, hey, I don't know something. What's the answer? Instead of struggling. Daryl says, is it ridiculous to ask for the name of the person who's in charge of purchasing apparel for your company? No. Hey, Daryl, just do it like this. Hey, I need some help. This is what I do. I'm trying to do this. Who should I talk to about that?
Would be the right contact.
And, maybe they'll give it to you. Maybe they won't. Right. But, now you know. Also, LinkedIn's really good for that.
And a lot of times they don't want to give out the information. They'll say, well, if you leave your stuff, I'll pass it on. I'll say, can I at least get a name? And then this is where I get them laughing. I go, so I can put something down so my boss doesn't think I'm just out playing golf. And they laugh. They go, sure, his name is so-and-so. And then I'll go from there. Because then the next call, a week later will be, can I speak to this person?
Yeah.
You at least have a name. So
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So it's never ridiculous. Right.
No.
So it's just how you phrase it. How, are you nice? Are you funny? Are you friendly? And, kind of a thing. It's
Absolutely.
A lot of times I think it's your tone of voice, how you approach it. You're Alan, you're way better in sales than me, so that's not really what I do.
I think I've been lucky a little bit, but yeah. You know what? You learn as you get going. Never split the difference.
That's right. That's a great book. You should, guys, if you haven't read that, you should get it right now.
Yep.
Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. All about labeling.
Yep.
It's a no answer, right? And gives them the power.
Absolutely.
Don's here. Hey, happy Friday.
Hey, Don, how you doing?
All right. Where are we on time? Okay.
Yeah, we're cruising. This has been fun. This has been good.
Perfect. All right. So next up is knowledge acquisition. And I wanted to talk about this because next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I am going to a content creators conference, which is, a big expo thing. It's actually here in Phoenix, and I'm very excited about it. As you guys hopefully know by now, I create a lot of content.
Yeah.
So I'm going to this thing. I had to pay to go. I have to take time off of work. I've got lots to do, right? But I'm doing this anyway. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that because what I want to learn is how people who are better at it than me are doing things. Yep. Is there a tool? Is there a software? Is there something going on? Is there some better way of doing it? Is there, we keep hearing about Web3. We keep hearing about NFTs. We keep hearing about cryptocurrency and all kinds of, there's a lot of stuff I don't know anything about, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to learn about all this stuff, right? And to me, right, that's what, if you're in business, this is how you separate yourself from your competitors, is what you know, right? And so you have to make time for this stuff. It doesn't just, osmosis. You walk in the door, you have it, right? Mm-hmm. You have to play with it. Just doing that. The high density foil rhinestone thing, right? Yep. That's knowledge acquisition. You're learning how to do it, right? So I think it's really super important that we make time for this stuff, because this is how you separate yourself from everybody else. So what do you think about this, Alan?
Well, one of the few things that I actually listened when I was younger is, I heard it multiple times, is, you always want to surround yourself with people who know more than you. And that's exactly what you're doing. Knowledge is power, but only if you know how to use it. You can be the smartest guy in the world, but if you don't, if you ever met somebody that's so smart, but they're just socially awkward, they're getting in their own way. Knowledge is power, but you have to know how to use it and what to do. And when you're around people that are smarter than you, that's pulling you, that's pushing you.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Right.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I can go to people where I'm the top dog, and everybody likes to be told, oh, you're in the academy, you know this, you have the podcast, whatever. And it's all that. But you know what? I need to hang out more with people who know more than me. I love, and you know what? He just popped on, but I love it. Like the Deck show. Charlie Tagliabue just popped on, and him and I got a chance just to sit and talk, a little bit about things going on and internationally. I love when Richard and I get together. Rob Coleman, all that. I learn from people. We all learn from each other.
Right.
And
what's the thing? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've all had that. At Shirt Lab, I was at a table and a bunch of people, and someone said, "Oh, Alan's holding court." We all were there. But you know what? There are times where we are that person. But I've got to keep in front and keep learning from people who know. Some of it's in my own family. I had dinner last week with my aunt and uncle, and he started the business from nothing to millions and semi-retired now. And we just talked about careers and stuff like that. And so, that pushes me. It gets me thinking. Friends of mine, Jason Rink, he's in a whole different market, gets me thinking. Marshall talks to me about things that I don't, we all know things, but we don't know what we don't know. Marshall has strengths that I don't have. I have strengths that he doesn't have. We all do. And you have to keep pushing yourself and getting in front of people. And that's what you're doing, Marshall. As content creators, I'm jealous. You said earlier, I'm going to be the peon in the room. I don't know what I'm going to be doing there. And for all these great
I'm really excited about it.
It is. Yeah. And that's where you just, you know what? You don't say a whole lot. You just listen.
Oh, I'm already working on my how to get my hand from quit cramping. I'm sure I'll be firing those notes.
The only thing when and Marshall, I hate it because when you were inducted into the academy, we haven't been able to get together. And when I was inducted, then that first dinner meeting, when I'm in there, that's where it hits you going, okay, you've gotten the call, you've gotten the plaque, but when you're in there, everybody has to go, what did you do? I go, well, actually, I sat him back next to Scott Fresner and stuff, and he makes me laugh all the time. So it was a little more there.
He is a funny guy.
He is hilarious. We were talking. People all have a bunch of high-powered people. He goes, this is where the pontificating starts. And I started cracking up. But I'm the new guy. I'm not going to say a lot.
Yeah, right.
I am not. Excuse me, Mr. Cosmo. Let me tell you what you're doing wrong. That's not going to happen. You listen a lot, and that's the best part of being in the academy is I get to listen and be around these people.
Right. So I think, so everybody watching this right now, what does this mean? Knowledge acquisition. It means read a book. It means watch a video. It means go to a trade show. It means take a class.
Listen to a podcast.
Read an article.
Yep.
Right. Talk to your supplier. Talk to your your competition, other people in the industry. Right. Yep. There's people out there right now who have solved the problem that you're struggling with.
Yep.
And it's like a piece of cake for them. And so you just got to get out there. You got to know it. And you can't be intimidated. The other thing I think is a lot of times we don't want to pursue this type of thing because we get intimidated because we don't know. We feel stupid. Like, oh my God, how I just feel so dumb. I can't I don't want to do it because I don't like to know that I am such a small little tiny minnow in the pool. So I'm not going to I'm just going to avoid it because I don't want to have that feeling. It's like, well, nobody started off with the knowledge. Okay. Yeah. Nobody was just born and they instantly know everything. You have to acquire it. Right. And you gotta you just got to start learning. You got to start, it was the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Right. So you just got to do it and learn something else and see what happens and do it some more and fail a lot.
And, I think if we're all honest, we all have that insecurity. Some of us hide it better a little bit and can go up to people and do that. But man, you get in a group of peers that you're just respecting all over the place, and for what they've accomplished, it gets a little weird for all of us if we're just honest about it. But
yeah,
it is
well,
great.
that's true. But I just think that you have to like do things on purpose.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely.
You have to make time for it.
You
And
have to be intentional about it.
I was talking with one of my coaching clients this week, and he asked me, because I told him I read a book a week. It's like, how do you find time to read a book a week? I go, well, every day I take an hour for lunch. I make myself a sandwich. I sit outside on my patio and I read a book while I'm eating.
Yeah.
So that's 5 hours a week right there reading. Plus, I read at other times too, right? So that's about a book a week. That's how you do it, and you got to make time for it. How are you prioritizing it? So I just think that, and there's plenty of other people who got better ways. Some people are better at some people are speed readers, right? That's not me. I read pretty quickly, but I'm not crazy at it. But you just got to do it. You just got to do it. So, hey, Charlie, I got to tell you, that's the coolest profile picture ever.
He does have the cool factor going always.
Alan's statement, surrounding yourself with people smarter than you, pretty easy for me.
I don't know, Rob. We've both been around some pretty smart people, and I saw a memory come up on Facebook. Rob, you saw it too, where the dedication of the Joe Clark Tech Center at M&R. And, there was a guy that when I was younger, I didn't appreciate, but as I got older, man, I miss him still. Just always there. So, yeah.
By the way, Richard says Tom Robinson has good plastisol genes. Buddy does too.
Yep.
All right. So Brian says you have 2 eyes and ears and 1 mouth. Listen and watch twice as much as you talk.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Love that. Richard says compare book reading time to television time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good point. And then if you're watching TV, is it some, Real Housewives of Des Moines, some show, right? Or is it, a show that informs you about stuff? The show I was watching last night on TV,
The Kardashians,
was called The Man in the Arena, which was on Disney Plus, which is about Tom Brady. Okay, well, I'm not a Patriots fan, but I like Tom Brady. And it was a multi-episode thing, but it was about how he creates a winning culture and what he's doing. And I'm always interested in shows like that. That's why I like the Food Network, some of those shows like Chopped, where they have to do the process of taking the crazy ingredients and making stuff. I'm always watching that stuff. I also like Forged in Fire, where they're like blacksmiths, making knives and swords. Not for what they're doing, is because they're the way they approach the problem from a mental perspective. That's what I'm interested in looking at. And that's what I find fascinating, frankly. And that helps me with my own problem solving, because I'm seeing other people tackle a thing, and then how do they get to the solution?
Yep.
What was their methodology, and how did they figure it out? And they're always making mistakes. How do they correct that in the midstream? To me, that's just fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but you're right, Richard. Book time versus TV time. Ray says, greetings, screenlings. Read all you can, listen a lot, and buy some damn measuring tools.
Absolutely. If you can't measure it, you can't repeat it.
Right. And then keep track of that, right? There's a logbook, there's a spreadsheet. Yep. There's something that you can use my production tracker app. Plug.
Yep. Absolutely.
Record this stuff, right? JC hired me back in the day.
Yep, Rob, you and I started the same year in 1987. I met Joe the same year.
Yeah, great. Where was that, Rob?
He was at Wolflex.
Wolflex? I like Forged and Fired for that reason. Every blacksmith's process is a little different. Yeah. And I love it, by the way, when they don't follow the parameters and they get the boot. It's like, we told you it was supposed to be 14 inches. What were you thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it's like you got to like, here are the instructions. This is what we want. And they just do something else, right? You go, oh, they're the ones that are going to get kicked out because they're not listening.
They did their own thing. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's always process. The video we showed of the special effects, it's still process. Mark said how to do it.
Yeah.
And what to use. If you do it a different way, you're not going to get the same process, the same results.
Right. Wolflex, correct.
Yeah.
And then her smiley tear face. Yep. So, all right. Last topic today. I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah. Price is going up. Be ready.
Yep.
Okay. And I think this is, so we're in, we just finished we finished the first month of the second quarter, right? I know some people have already done a price increase this year. Okay. But looks like things might be still going up a little bit. What do you think we should be doing here, Alan?
Well, you always have to be looking and be ready. I mean, if you see your indexes all over the place, all over the country, things are going up. I can't believe that, that supply manufacturers are not going to have another price increase coming in. We all you see your local stuff going up, everything's going up. It just is.
Yeah.
And you know what brought this topic up?
This is a global problem.
It is. It's not the manufacturer. It's not that, but you have to be ready. And the thing that got me on this topic is I was talking to a shop, and we were just talking on how they're doing. He said they're doing great. Now, of course, they have to they budget per month of what they're going to do. And so, he budgeted $16,000 for supplies. Well, it ended up being, 19,000. So things have went up, and they got to readjust that.
Yeah.
We always have to be looking at that. You always have to be looking at your budget, your game plan, your business plan. Remember, those things are fluid. So
right.
They have fluid, meaning they have the shape of water. There is no shape. They keep moving. So
I think a lot of people, Alan, they always focus on their top line sales.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I can tell you, and I talk to people all the time, and I go, hey, well, what's your profit margin? What? I don't know how to do that. Or my accountant's going to let me know. Yeah. Right. So it's like, you need to stay in focus with this, because you don't want to get too far down the road and realize that you're not making any money.
Right.
Right. So what we want to do is we want to know, we want to know our gross profit. We want to know our net profit. That's what's really important here. And if you're keeping a good, your thumbs on it, right? So when stuff gets out of whack, and then you're usually at whatever it is, and now it's considerably less, you have to adjust. But what happens if you're not measuring this stuff and you don't know where's all the money?
Yeah.
Right. This is how companies go out of business, when they're not paying attention to stuff.
And they're out on the street holding a sign going, I can't be out of business. We're much too busy.
You were too busy to be out of business.
I'm much too busy to be out of business.
So you have to know this stuff. It's basic business, right? You have to know this stuff. And so many shops, I think, are going 500 miles an hour, right? And they're too busy to worry about the data.
Yep.
About the metrics, about looking at the stuff, right? And then what happens is they get so far down the road, they're in trouble, and they don't know what to do, right? And it's a classic scenario, really.
It is. It's daily. And hats off to the company I talked to that, what they saw last month. Okay, we got to adjust. Where are we at? It's not a red flag. It's just a flag. It says, hey, pay attention.
Oh, it's something that you're going to react to. Right. Yep. And it is what it is.
Better catch it this month than in 6 months.
Yeah. Right. And to me, and I don't think you need to tell everybody you're having a price increase. Just do the price increase.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Right. I think right now, does everybody on the planet understand prices are going up? Yes. Right. We all get it. Right. And we can point fingers in a bunch of different ways. And I don't want to get into that, but I think we understand prices are going up, but I think you need to be paying attention to it.
That's the key. We probably should have prices going up. Pay attention.
I can change it right now if you want.
You have the power, but and that's what
you have the power.
I have the power too, but remember, I'm just co-piloting right now. You're the pilot. So, yeah, I like what Ray just said down there. There you go. You ready? Pay attention. Yeah.
Right. What did Ray say? I'm suspicious when I don't see price increases.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Sean, by the way, just made it. What I miss? Hey, we're going to start the whole show over just for you.
Yeah, we've been waiting for you, Sean. So we haven't said anything.
Natural gas is going up from 42 cents per therm to over 80 cents.
Yeah, that's almost double.
So, look, and so let me ask you this, right? If you got a natural gas dryer, when's the last time you cleaned the flue?
Yep.
Have you done preventative maintenance? You got lint and crap and who knows what in the filters, right? Like, are you using a donut probe to test? I was at a shop a couple years ago and I go, hey, you got a donut probe? And they go, yeah, it's right here. I go, have you ever used it? No.
Nope.
And so we tested one of their dryers and there was a 17-degree difference between the left and the right side of the dryer.
Yep. I'm not even aware of it.
Yeah. And so they had to get that fixed. Right. And so their dryer, by the way, they had to really crank the heat up to get the stuff to cure. And that caused, so the reason we do this is because they were having some issues, it's cause and effect, right? Why are we having so many problems? Well, the dryer's really hot. We have to do that because the ink won't cure, right? But you're not using the tool to measure,
right?
Crazy. So Rob says price increase. Oops. Sorry. Hit send by mistake. Yeah. That's okay. You can make a mistake. Friends of mine are in week 7 of lockdowns in China, but people keep saying, why are there shortages?
Well, yeah. We don't know what's going on in other countries. We know what is being told to us and stuff. There's a lot there. It's not just shortages. It's inflation. It's everything. And it's not just one thing. If it was just one thing, that'd be an easy fix.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just
Ooh,
is.
Look at this one. I'm testing a better version of the donut probe, one that actually makes contact with the ink easily. Stay tuned. Inquiring minds want to know.
It's called the Danish probe.
The Danish probe. It's the bear claw probe.
The bear claw probe. So, yes. Ray, yeah, we'll be talking.
Rob says, when a manufacturer of anything, including you as printers, experience increasing costs, you have 3 choices. Pass along the increase, pass along some of the ink. What is that? I don't know what that meant.
He did it again.
Dang it, did it again. I will stop now. Hey, are you texting with your thumbs there?
Come on, Rob. What is
so pass along the increase or not pass along the increase? What would be the third one? I guess.
Well, I think what he's saying is pass along the increase. He was going to type pass along some of the increase or pass along none of the increase. I'm going to say that's your choice. But yeah, I mean,
it was the Cruller probe.
The Cruller probe, yeah. I think too. You know what? If it's a 0.5% increase, okay, not a problem.
Yeah.
If it's it's sometimes it's small increases or increases. Look at the last year. There's no way you're eating all that. If you're trying to, you're stupid.
Yeah, well, a couple percentage points for some shops that could be a $50,000 a month issue.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, you really need to be paying attention to this stuff.
Yeah.
And so let me ask you: do you have good reporting? Do you have a good dashboard? Is it already set up?
Mm-hmm.
Or, if you've got an accounting team, right? Like, when are they closing the month out, right? And like, do you get something relatively soon, or is it like the following month they finally do it, right? And it can just be just a simple dashboard with things. It doesn't have to be super crazy. So, not pass any or some which is not sustainable or cheap in their product reduce costs, in other words, which is diminishing returns over time.
Right.
Yeah. So you make the product worse
Yeah.
to save money, right? This is how you know, if it's a concentrate, you add water.
What was that? Irish homes, there's always room for one more. We'll just add another cup of water to the soup.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. Right. So anyway, so just just to round this out, so just pay attention to what's going on. If you don't want to raise your prices, don't do it. But I think you need to really be looking at it. You need to be focused on it and paying attention to it. And this is just with everything, garments, ink, whatever, transportation, cardboard boxes, labor, right? Stuff's going up, right? What are you doing about it? When it's going up, I don't think it's going to go back down.
No.
Nobody a year from now is going to go, you know what? We raised our prices, but now we're going to lower them again.
Yeah.
It's just going to go up. This is why back in, 1875, you could buy a house for $300 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just the cost of what it is, right? So you gotta do it. So
yeah.
All right. So we've got about four or 5 minutes here. So Alan, what else haven't we talked about today that we need to?
I don't know. I saw I was actually in a shop. I actually got to see the new M&R Polaris.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, you know what? They had it up. They showed me some things they printed. They're just trying to get their feet wet on it. It's an all digital machine on an oval, 2 D4s on it, the heat press. It's interesting. It's these people already have 2 hybrids plus multiple screen machines, and such a clean shop too. It's just amazing. And we talked. I'm going to try to get them on the show, just about their markets. But we're talking about markets changing, and what they're doing is they're trying to. They do a lot of fulfillment. They do a lot of rock and roll. They're doing stuff. Where does this fit? Mm-hmm. And the operations manager is going, I like it. I want to master this. But, he's always going, I wish the thing about the D4, he could always put a screen in there. I can add puff. I can add mixed media. Mm-hmm. So, is it great? Yes. Are there limitations? So that's why he has multiple machines. He's going to let his market dictate.
Right.
It's done. So for me, always seeing new stuff is always very interesting. It was a week of new stuff. I got to work on a Dane auto reclaiming machine, the 125T. It's their small one. That was interesting.
Who sells that?
Dane is sold by I want to say Fine Line up in New York, Mark Herman. I think Workhorse can sell them too. I've seen them. I've never had the chance to work with them, and it's just a different machine,
right?
Made out in Denmark. That's why it's called a Dane. So for me, it's always continuing education. It was fun. Company, all roller frames, no tape. They're using blockout. I think blockout is a lost product, not used. It's cheaper than tape. He goes, why would I use tape? So perfect.
Well, it's not the problem with tape. It's not the cost of tape. It's the cost of putting the tape on and off. There's labor. On and off.
Exactly. So,
and then those little pieces of tape, if you've got an automatic reclaimer, they could get sucked down into the pump, and that could cause an issue.
Yeah, it's a problem. Definitely a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't want to replace your pump.
No. And it still amazes me. I've been in shops, and I was talking to one of their installer about one of the worst companies in the world where, we don't understand how people can make capital purchases and just not take care of it. And there's a company I know and he knows that has 2 of their big machines, and they just never clean it out. Never goes, as long as it keeps working, I'm not touching it. Idiot.
Oh my God.
But he is an idiot.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. And it's like, those are the people that make guys like Marshall and me and Rob and Richard and Ray Greenwood just go insane. Like, oh my gosh, here's a ball.
Well, there's a right way of doing things, and there's a wrong way of doing things.
And he's always done the wrong. It's like this guy want to send him a box of ball peen hammers. Here, just hit yourself between the eyes for him. I don't have time to mess with you. So
right,
yeah, it's unreal.
So Sean says UPS and FedEx fuel surcharges from the last gas increase was never removed.
Of course not.
And of course, they're not even delivering on time. So
yeah.
So sooner or later, they're Amazon or somebody else is going to come in there and just clean their clock.
Mm-hmm.
Rob says we'll definitely give the Cornets a run for their money. It's a high-end industrial machine. Talking about the Polaris.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Richard said permanent blockout pays for itself, even on Newman roller frames.
Richard, but permanent blockout on roller frames. I mean, if you're using roller frames the right way and you have to adjust that tension, what happens to the permanent blockout is that's being rolled on there. I don't know that I like that. That's something I'm sure you and I will have lunch and pontificate about. But
well, if I know Richard, he already has the answer.
I'm sure he does, and if I know Richard, he's going to call me as soon as this is over and let me know. Richard we live in the same state, so but but he's right. When you're using blockout or permanent, this guy was using just water soluble blockout, works great. So yeah.
So got big plans for the weekend?
Me? No. I am getting ready since I'm leaving for Asia in a few weeks. There's some things I got to do, some clothes I want to buy, and get ready for that. And yeah, so that's my big thing. Right. I might go to the fish farm and buy some fish for my stepmom, and I still call it mom and dad, my stepmom and dad's place, even though dad's gone. But yeah, for that, and yeah,
well, good.
So, there's a lot of travel. So of course, when I'm home, I don't do a whole lot. So
yeah, good. Yeah, I got some work stuff I'm doing over the weekend, and but I'm goofing off. So
we have some comments on the permanent blackout.
Oh, let's look. So Ray says once the tension is stable, then permanent blackout is good on roller frames. There you go.
Yep.
So while you're still adjusting, the answer is no.
Yep. Okay, good.
Josh says I would like that info on permanent blackout on roller frames.
Okay.
Richard says you put it on after you've reached optimum tension. There you go.
And that's one of the things that people aren't familiar with roller frames. One of the benefits is you can keep increasing that tension, and eventually it will work hard and stabilize, and you won't need to adjust it anymore.
Right.
So,
well, great. Well, hey, I think that's it for the show today. Would love for you guys to watch us again next week. Yep. And if you're watching this as a recording, please let us know that you're here. We just love that kind of thing. And have any questions or anything, we would love to know that. Also reach out to us. And then also, why don't you hit GSG up if you check them out. Here's their webpage.
Yep.
Go gsg.com. I'm sure you can read their new Pulse, which is their new spring catalog, and they've got a lot of great information there for you, and check them out.
And you know what? We got next week. It's going to be great. We got Chris Bolts from Ashco Hurley. He is his name that him and his wife use on that Facebook page. Talking about Lego prints on what he does. So we're real excited about it. It's going to be a good show, and we got a bunch of things coming up in a few weeks.
Right.
Wait to share. So
yep. And Mark says thanks. Have a great weekend.
Yep.
Charles says thanks again for sharing your expertise. Have a great weekend. Daryl says get it on.
Absolutely.
Daryl, I'll be talking with you tomorrow. So all right, guys. You guys take care.
Have a great week, everybody.
See ya.